Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody can hear me. Everybody hear me over there? We got thumbs up all around. All right. I am that fat guy, and welcome to another episode of Legal Ham to Face. This is going to be put out on Tuesday, October 5th. It is October 4th now, and this is Brian and I's, as I like to call it, Hell Week at work because it's sun up to sundown this week because we're punching holes. So, on that note, let me bring in Big Bri.
Hey, man.
All right.
What's up?
Oh, not much. Another day at work, buddy.
I hear you.
We're awfully late in what we normally do, so this
make it work.
That's right. And my cousin Vinny.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
All right. So my cousin Vinny, this feels weird because I do not have my cousin Vinny here at Fat Boy Studios with me.
Negative.
My cousin Vinny is at the Casa de Vinny.
Sure.
And Big Bri is at the Casa de Bri. So this feels weird, me being by myself. So Vinny actually took care of the show for us today while we were at work. So thank you so much, Vinny.
No problem.
Man.
And let's get this show started. Let's get the rundown going.
Rundown, October 5th, 2021. We're going to start with, how should we say that? Mike Holzheimer went ahead and wrote a letter.
Yes, we had a friend passed away from cancer. Mike Holzheimer, Matt Lodi passed away
Right.
last week. And Mike Holzheimer wrote a very nice piece about it, and he wanted us to read it tonight. So we will read that right after our shout-outs.
Right.
Oh.
So then, we're going to get into our shout outs, of course. My cousin Vinny's word of the day. We're going to do some trivia time. And this one is on you, Jared.
That's on me.
Right. And Browns win again.
I know, right?
Here we go. So I don't have the paperwork, obviously, because I'm over here. So you have that stuff?
Yes, I have that stuff. I'll mark it down as we go.
All right. And we're going to talk some Indians still for their last game as the Indians. And Fat Boy Tuesday, we're going to talk about favorite birthday dinners. Kind of what you guys like for birthdays.
Yeah, because Bri brought this up last week, because last week was Bri's birthday. And he talked about his birthday dinner. He's like, what would be your perfect birthday dinner? So I guess that's what you're wanting, right, Bri?
Yeah. My mom, we went over to my mom's to celebrate a little bit, and she asked me, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And so I had to think back over the last 15, 20 years, what's the favorite dish that my mom makes that I want for my birthday? I could pick anything. So I was curious as to what you guys would say given the same question.
Now, hold on. Is it Ma's dish or is it just our favorite dish?
Let's say Ma's or your wife's.
Oh, well, my wife doesn't cook, so that's perfect.
Well, it could just be your mom's then.
Well, no, I got some things.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't have to be super creative, but just what you like that you have with your mom.
All right. And keep going, Vinny. I'm sorry.
No, we have that, and then we have our top three. We're going to talk about our top 3 horror movies.
I can't wait because coming up soon is Halloween, and you're going to see a few guys dressed up as the super fans. So mustaches are already growing. So I can't wait to get into it. So let's get into our shout outs. Brian, do you have any shout outs this week?
Yep, I'll be quick. It was a proud weekend for us down here in Medina, and the community. ESPN2 Friday night, Medina took it to Mentor for the first time ever, beating Mentor on ESPN2 national TV. So just shout out those guys, shout out the coaching staff, all the kids that put their heart and soul into it. And that also happened to be the same night that Medina alum Matt Amodio finished second all time for the Jeopardy wins in a row. So shout out to him. Way to go. Keep it going. I think it's up to 34, 35. I didn't see what he did tonight, but he's churning along.
All right. So is that all?
That's it.
All right. My cousin Vinny, you got any shout outs tonight?
No shout outs for me.
All right. Well, I'm going to get into this one. Tomorrow, my dad turns a big 7-0 tomorrow. So, Papa Bear, I know you don't watch our show because you're not a Browns fan. He's a Steelers fan, by the way.
How does that happen?
But I can't. He told me a long time ago that the Browns traded away a running back that he loved. And he said he'd never root for the Browns again, and he hasn't. And he makes it abundantly clear that he hasn't. But he supports us and what we do, so that's awesome. But yeah, he turns the big 7-0. Also, we just got word through work. There's been rumors, but our boss Brian is retiring at the end of this season. He has been in the golf course industry for 50 some odd years.
Wow.
He was a superintendent at Firestone. He was where we work at, which we're not going to go on the record and say where we work at, but he had a very good career of hosting PGA championships and World Golf Championships and all that stuff. So I got to at least shout him out for that because, being 66 and being able to retire, where he's at is a blessing, which Brian, I will talk about that afterwards.
Sure.
And my last shout out, the Dover high school football team. Down home, we do not get to play bigger teams that often. And Strongsville came down to Dover, and Dover won. I think it was like 14-13. It was a barn burner, but
Wow.
we don't get that luxury that often down where I'm at to play bigger schools. So it was very nice to see Strongsville make the trip down to Dover, which isn't that far. It's like an hour, 40 minutes for Strongsville. So it wasn't that far, but it was far enough. And, congratulations over. By the way, are the Bees still undefeated?
The Medina Bees, 6-0, playing Brunswick. Big game Brunswick. They might be 7-0 now. But yeah, big game inter-county rival, Brunswick, this week, Friday.
So are we going to get the Medina Bees coach on with us at some point in time? You know the guy, right?
I'm friends with one of the assistants. I've said hi to the head coach a couple times, but never really talked to him for very long. He wasn't the coach when I was playing, so I think he came from Avon a few years ago, but he's done a heck of a job turning the program around and turning them into a state powerhouse at this point.
Well, that's awesome, bud. All right, so on that note, we are going to read a article written. Well, it's not even an article. A letter written by Mike Halsheimer, who is a friend of our show, who's been on our show multiple times, writer for NEO Sports Insiders and Sports Illustrated, who Matt Lodi help out. So, Vinny, you have everything up in front of you. Do you want to read the letter for us?
Actually, I'm going to get it prepared real briefly. I figured while I'm doing that, if you wanted to shout out Harold and the APA.
Yes, you get prepared real quick. Our show is always brought to you by Harold and the APA, the Lake Erie APA. I just played Sunday, first time I played in a couple weeks, and got my ass kicked by Billy Wild. So that's normal for me. And if you don't know who Billy Wild is, he'll let you know. Uh, but no, come
Is
out
he
and have
wild?
no. Well, he is wild, but Billy Wild's probably what top 10 that I've seen in Cleveland play. Like when he gets on a stretch, he can shoot. Like he's one.
And if you think you're gonna throw him off by like feeding him drinks,
Oh
it'll
no,
only make him better.
yeah,
So be
it's
careful.
unreal, Brian. This guy, unreal.
He sounds like a villain from like a pool movie.
Oh, he kind
Like,
of is.
oh
He
shoot, you
could
got to
be.
play Billy Wild. Oh
Yeah,
dang.
but
He
the
could
bad thing
be.
is though is he's friends with everybody. He
Yeah.
doesn't hate anybody. He doesn't care. Like, oh, you hate me? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm
There's no one he doesn't like. He's
No.
awesome.
No, that's
So,
cool.
and by the way, we did get a surprise. There's another shout out. Billy Wild is about to have a baby.
Really?
Yes, they just got married a couple weeks ago, and they found out that she
Oh,
is 2
that's
weeks
so
pregnant.
cool.
So, by the way, nobody knows yet. Spoiler alert. But so, also, if you want to join the APA, have fun with a lot of good people, which there is in the APA. We're friends with everybody. I can only count a handful of people that I don't even say I don't even like. It's just I don't talk to because everybody there I've liked. Everybody's so nice, so cordial. If you want to join the APA, get a hold of Harold at Lake Erie APA or get a hold of us here at Legal Ham in the Face or me or Vince on Facebook or something. We'll get you set up. All right.
Sure.
All right, Vinny, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
So again, Mike went ahead and he sent this. Oh, where was this posted at, Fatty?
You caught
I'm
me
sorry.
mid-drink. It was
I'm
on
sorry.
Facebook.
Okay, so on Facebook, it was one of his posts.
Yes.
I am so saddened to hear the news that Matt Lodi has passed away. Matt fought a very brave and courageous battle against his opponent, cancer. I never had the opportunity to meet Matt, but through so many conversations via emails, texts, and messages, I considered him to be a friend. He often said the same and felt the same about me. A few years ago, Matt reached out to me after reading some of my sports articles I had posted on Facebook. He thought very highly of my talents as a writer and asked if he could post my stories on his sports blog, the Northeast Ohio Sports Insider, and later my Indians baseball columns to Sports Illustrated, Fan Nation. I was so honored to have a professional of Matt's stature, reputation, and skills believe in my writing was worth of his news sports outlets. Anytime I had an idea for a story or column, Matt always received it and welcomed it with open arms. One of the last things he said to me after I told him I would have to delay sending him a story because of an accident to one of my family members was that he was sending prayers my way and that I, with my writing, will always have a place with him. Matt lived his life to the fullest and demonstrated such grace and courage we should all aspire to. My thoughts and prayers go out to Matt's wife, Shauna, and the entire family, his professional colleagues, and so many friends. Our hearts are heavy today, but will forever be guided by the inspiration Matt left to us all. Rest in peace, my friend, and thank you for all of the gifts you bestowed upon us. Matt Lodi will forever be missed.
So there it is. Now I got it. So for those people that don't know who Matt Lodi is, he was a broadcaster, sports broadcaster on can't remember AM, a huge sport writer here in Cleveland. and a friend of a lot of people, Kevin Arnold. Guys that we've had on this show, Matt helped mentor him, and I've actually tried to get Matt on the show before, but his battle, came to an end, and it really sucks because, they lost a great Cleveland fan and a great person in general for what he's done for Cleveland sports and the sports scene here in Cleveland. He's truly amazing. So we want to give our prayers out to his family. And it just, what a great guy. From what everybody's told me, you can't say that he's not. So, we wish the family the best, and it sucks. Just as we always say, cancer sucks on our show because we've had multiple people that we've lost due to it. So, all right. On that note, we got to liven it back up because he wouldn't want us talking like this. So let's get into Bri. I'm going to get into this if Vinny hasn't seen the banner I put up yet.
Okay.
It's for the Gauntlet League.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And guess who is in the bottom two?
Oh
for next
no.
week? My cousin Vinny.
Jeez. Already?
Papa V.
Me
So
and
that
Papa
is
V.
You and Papa V are matching up in the Gauntlet League. The winner
That's
moves
right.
on till next week.
Oh my
Alright.
gosh.
Now we will be doing a week-by-week score, correct, Bri?
That's correct. Yeah. The slate is white cream.
I only got 89.42 points.
Oh, he's right over there. Yeah, you did do good, bud.
Oh, jeez. What the
Probably-
hell happened?
You probably should have checked your lineup because Gronkowski was out.
Oh no! Did you play Gronk?
No, I don't have Gronk.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. You're down there with Papa V. So
you-
right now,
you-
the bottom two is Papa V and my cousin Vinny.
Jeez.
And after this week, there will be one that survives to take
Joe
on,
Bear
to take
had a
on-
big week.
Yep. To take on the low score that happens after this week. There's no more adding of scores. You try to get the most points you can, because if you get to the lowest point, you play the winner of Papa V and my cousin Vinny. So here we go. It's time. Buckle up the laces. Let's go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. Vinny was all excited. He goes, "Oh, I'm way out of the fucking bottom two." Yep, not anymore, brother.
No. Not if I'm only putting up another 89 points.
All
That's
right.
rough.
I'm sorry, bud. It happens to the best of us.
But all you have to do is beat one person, though. Now, Vinny, it's head to head. You don't have
Right.
to worry about everyone else. Just
But
beat
that still
one
keeps
person.
me. That keeps me down there.
That's
It
all right.
keeps you alive. Yeah,
And-
you're
and no
gonna
matter-
have to run the table now.
Right, exactly. I can't lose a single week.
Nope, you got to go, buddy. It's
This
put up or
sucks.
shut up. That's all right. You're playing Papa V. You're fine. I mean, let's be honest. All right, let's get into my cousin Vinny's word of the day. Do you have the? There it is.
Yes.
I have it on my phone here. Hopefully, I turned the volume up.
Parlay.
Parlay is the word of the day.
Parlay.
Yes.
I just
Oh,
missed
think
on a
of-
couple parlays this weekend.
Well,
Think of all the ways that it gets used on a regular basis. We're
Yeah.
looking at the verb version of the word parlay.
all right. So, and by the way, he wouldn't let me look at. All I had was the pronunciation that I had. I couldn't even look at it. He's like strangling. He's like, "You're going to cheat." I'm like, I'm going to cheat. But it's all right. We are now time for trivia. My cousin Vinny, play the video. And our trivia is always brought to you by Papa V in Curveville Landscape, Papa V's about to be out of the gauntlet. And you can hold a Papa
Don't
V
you say
at
that.
419.com. I got to because I love busting Papa V's balls. So here is your trivia for today, Brian. All right. We
Yep.
have played our last game as the Cleveland Indians. I want you to think back in time. When was the last time they finished 80 and 82? When was the last time that the Cleveland Indians had a losing record?
The last time. So is it the last time they had a losing record, or the last time they finished 80 and 82?
Last time they had a losing record, not above 500. Last
Okay.
time they had a losing record. All right.
Okay. All
Hey.
right. I got you.
Look at this golf ball teed up. You should knock this out of the park. All right.
All right.
All right. So, Vinny, are we leaving? Are you jumping in on this, or are you out of here for a little bit?
I'm gonna sit out for just a little bit.
You're sticking around?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around.
All right. Let's fire it up. The Cleveland Browns won against the Minnesota Vikings and he's gone. Okay. In the ugliest game, and he's back.
Did you want me here?
Well, I said, are you sticking around or are you leaving? You said you're sticking around.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stick around. I'm just gonna go into hiding here a little bit,
Oh,
just
okay,
to be able to hear my voice if I got to say something.
Yeah, okay, that works.
All right.
All right. Love you, buddy. All right. Ugliest game I have seen. It was 14-7. Hold on. Let's get Vinny back in here for a second. Vinny, come on back in. We got to get our scores. We got to get our scores. So right now, oh, yeah. So Big Bry picked 30-27, Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of Vinny piggybacked off of me and Brian, picked 30-17.
It seemed like a safe enough bet.
And I picked 24-17 because I thought this was going to be a defensive game. I didn't realize it was going to be that much of a defensive game. But asterisk goes to that fat guy because I'm the closest. So I got 2 asterisks. Vinny
What do
has
these asterisks mean?
So if there is a tie at the end, it's the closest to the score.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
So that way we have a definite winner. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. That's good. Smart.
So that's why we're doing the asterisk so that somebody gets a pizza and some whiskey.
Now, how is the asterisk determined? Is it whoever has? Okay. I mean, but is it total?
Points.
Is it total points?
Yes, closest
Yes.
total points.
So total points. So
Yeah.
okay.
So as of right
Gotcha.
now, I almost spiked last week, and I'm the closest this week because I had them at 17 and 24. So I get an asterisk on mine. So right now I got
Gotcha.
2 asterisks, but Bry's
Okay.
winning everything right now because Bry is 4-0.
Bry's got a perfect game going.
Yeah, he does. He's 4-0. Vinny is 3-1, just
Mhm.
like the Cleveland Browns, and I am 3-1, just like the Cleveland Browns. So, and I marked it down here so you can see it when you come back, Vinny. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is why I'm not in charge on this side because I don't like writing down shit. I get hand cramps. It's not good. All right, Vinny, we're kicking you out of here now. We'll bring you back in.
All right.
Oh man.
All right, see you, brother.
Have fun. See ya.
All right, so Brian, we got to get into this game. They won. It was 14-7. When I checked at halftime, it was 11-7. What the hell happened this game, buddy? Like, are we going to recap this? Like, it was a defensive game, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And our defense was freaking amazing.
Yep. Let's try to focus on the positives as best we can because, when you think back to last year and everyone's saying what a great game the Browns-Ravens game was when we lost, 47-42 or something like that. Like, oh man, that's a great game. In all reality, it was a great offensive game.
Yeah.
But both defenses sucked. So this is kind of the flip side of that. The defenses were great. The offense left a lot to be desired. So it was half our team played very well. The other half,
That's right.
not so great.
All right, so what we're going to get into the offensive side real quick. You all right with that?
Yeah, all right. Eat the frog. Yeah, get the bad part out of the way first. So
all right, so here we go. Let's go. Baker had a horrible day. Less than 50% passing. Now, granted, our ground game was there. Good Lord, I am drawing a blank right now. I am so tired. Chubb had over 100 yards, and Hunt actually played great again. Oh my God, it's just amazing. The two running backs that we have for this team is unreal. But after that, bud, nothing else happened.
No.
Baker overthrew a whole bunch of people. He underthrew a whole bunch of people.
Mhm.
Are you kind of concerned about our boy Baker now? That is the deepest breath I've ever heard you take. Oh my!
Well, I don't want to trash Baker too much, because at the end of the day, this is one game. And if you watch last night's game, I guess Sunday night's game, Tom Brady did not play very well against the Patriots. And so he had some bad throws too. So quarterbacks are allowed to have bad games. This was a bad game for Baker.
Well,
This got me thinking back to, okay, we're basically at the quarter pole of the season. I know there's 17 games now, but I'm basically 25% through our season. And, Baker played great the first half of the Chiefs game. Has he played great since then? You brought up the Texans game, and, you're probably right. He played pretty well against the Texans that first half anyways. But he wasn't trying a whole lot. He only completed a couple passes over 10 yards. And so it's easy to throw a bunch of screens and throw a bunch of quick reads. And there are a couple times, I think it might have been a fourth down or maybe a third down, where he looked at his first receiver and he threw it to him. And I'm still waiting to see progression from Baker. Last year, the second half of the year, I don't know. Is that the best Baker that we were ever going to get? Because he was pretty darn good. And I'm maybe residing more, and I'm, like I said, trying not to overreact to this one game. But to me, he's closer to a Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, who have won a lot of games in this league.
yes.
People want to crap on them. Andy Dalton won a lot of games in this league. Alex Smith won a lot of games in this league, played in this league as a starter for 15 years.
So what you're saying is this Baker's ceiling is what you're saying.
I'm saying Baker is a 10. I'm not saying he can't be elite. I'm not saying that. He's still young. He's still raw. But I'm waiting to see that next step. I mean, the Browns, and who knows if it's a system or not, the Browns are the only team in the NFL that hasn't completed a touchdown pass to a wide receiver. I mean, are our wide receivers that bad, or is Baker not looking downfield and just checking it down to running backs and tight ends?
Well,
certainly he had Odell Beckham for 2 touchdowns and he missed them this week.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh my God, did he ever?
He threw it high to Kareem Hunt. And I mean, people get very defensive when it comes to Baker. Browns fans. To me, it's like, you got to decide, are you a Browns fan or are you a Baker fan? Is Baker the best the Browns possibly could do? I don't know. I think they could probably do better than this. Baker's very good. But, I worry. I worry that his ceiling isn't quite as high as some people think it is.
Well, and also you got to factor in, I mean, this is probably the best that the team has done in, 20 years? Like, that's the other thing that we got with it. So, like, everybody's, they're going to be like, I don't give a crap. And you know something? I've been the biggest Baker lover, because the one thing I haven't seen since his rookie year is I haven't seen Oklahoma Baker. I mean, have you? Because I remember Oklahoma Baker not missing those wide open passes. It seems to me like he is overthinking everything when he should just go out and play football. And that's what it seems to me, because Oklahoma Baker would not have missed Odell that horrible twice. He would not have thrown over Kareem Hunt. he would have been the guy to actually go in there. And I don't know if it's in his head, his psyche, in the game plan, Stefanski, Van Pelt, his quarterbacks coach, what's going on right now. But I want to see that kid again that played in Oklahoma. I don't want to see this version of Baker because that kid in Oklahoma had no fear. And it looks like this kid has fear right now, and I don't like it.
We talked last year a lot about Baker's first year in the system and having to get Baker comfortable, basically on a weekly basis. And how do you get Baker comfortable? Because he's very much a momentum player. And you get him comfortable by setting up the pass with the run and then running a bunch of play action, running a bunch of bootlegs to get Baker out in space. And that's where he thrives. Well, this is the NFL. This isn't the Big 12 anymore. So people are going to adjust to you, and they've adjusted to his bootlegs, and they don't let him get out on the edge like that where he can, clearly see the whole field. So they're trying to keep him in the pocket. And, those couple of fourth down plays, they were, dare I say, they were like, a few Browns quarterbacks of the past. Guys that drop back, they feel the pressure, and they just kind of crumble. And that's kind of what Baker did. He dropped back, felt a little pressure, and the first thing he tried to do was get out of there or just take a sack or something. And it happened in the Bears game too, those fourth downs, where I don't know if it's this shoulder injury. I don't think anybody knows. I think anybody that says it's definitely the shoulder that's bugging him or it's definitely not, I don't think you know what you're talking about, because he's probably the only one that knows. But he did not look comfortable, and his confidence was completely shot last week. So it worries me a little bit, as we'll get into later. It's nice having a team that is so damn good that you can have a terrible performance by your quarterback and still win the game.
So, sorry, that was my phone. I forgot.
But just to build off of that, there's so many things that had to go right for the Browns to win 14-7.
Yes.
we were pretty damn lucky that we have a kicker that we found off the scrap heap that can hit a 48-yarder and a 53-yarder like it's nobody's business. We were pretty lucky that the refs called kind of a phantom holding call on fourth down in the end zone to give us new life at the goal line. Yes. We were pretty lucky when Justin Jefferson caught a 38-yarder and it got brought back because of a holding penalty. So, there are a lot of things that had to go right for the Browns. And
also pass interference by him, too. That push-off was horrible.
Pass interference, but also the third down and 20 play for Kareem Hunt. We were just trying to run the clock out, and Kareem Hunt, because he's so damn good, he made a hell of a play. So that resulted in 3 points right there. We were basically given the 8 points because of that holding penalty in the end zone. So there's 11 points right there that, I don't know if we can count on getting scores like that every single week. Without that, we score 3 points.
Yeah, true. And that's, I want to bow tie Baker real quick before we move on to our amazing defense. And you got to learn to segue into the kicker because we have the kicker in here for a little bit later on.
I'm sorry. I'm getting excited about it. I didn't think I'd love a kicker more than Cody Parkey, and I can barely remember his last name now.
So these people with the narrative of Baker's shoulder dislocated, all that stuff, if you have never had a dislocated shoulder and had it pop back in, probably one of the most painful experiences you have ever had. Because once that thing gets popped back in, and especially a brace, so I know it's not his throwing shoulder, but any slight movement, it's almost like throwing out your back. And Brian, I've done it to myself. My back is out every now and then. We've both had back problems and stuff. Your foot, your ankle. How many times have you had foot surgeries?
A couple times, different hardware put in the foot.
So everybody, you don't know what he's feeling. So yes, it was dislocated. He actually said it coming back onto the field. It's like, yeah, it's out. It's back in. We're good. Let's go play. Ever since then, it has not been the Baker that I saw in the first game where he was 80% passing. The second game where he was almost 80% passing. And yes, you're saying screen passes, little dump offs to the tight end, stuff like that. He was confident then. I'm starting to think that this shoulder injury might be more than what we think because, yes, you still have to have your whole body to throw. But if you don't have that lead arm and your shoulder to go through, you still feel it. Like, no matter how much they numb it up, you still feel that shoulder hurt as you rip through. And God, it's got to be killing him. I don't know what else. I'm not making excuses anymore. You just got to play better. He even came out and said he has to play better. So, Baker, you got the next game. You're going up against a kid in Justin Herbert next week that you got to ball out because people are comparing you to him. People are comparing you to Lamar Jackson. People are comparing you to everybody else, and they won't put you in the echelon that you need to be in. You got to play better, brother, because this stuff can't happen anymore.
Yeah. Let me say my final piece. I'm not, by any means, I'm not out on Baker. I wish he would have played better in these first 4 games. But he can still be the guy that we all hope and dream he will be. I think he's taken a little bit of a step back since the second half of last year, but I still got faith in him. You know, we're 3-1 is the best news about it, and he can figure it out while we win, and he doesn't have to do everything. But I would like to see a little more from him, and I know we're a long ways from this, but in the offseason, the Browns are going to have to make a hard decision. What you want to do? Do you want to take it safe and just stay the course with your guy, or we've seen it a couple times in the last 5 to 10 years. Teams that were great teams that had first-round quarterbacks that got them to the playoffs and played pretty well for them, but they wanted to go all in to win a Super Bowl. And I think of Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, getting rid of Tim Tebow, saying, let's take this Hall of Famer, and he won them a championship. I think of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, first overall pick. Hey, threw 5,000 yards, guess what? It's not good enough. We want championships. Let's bring in Tom Brady. And just so happens that there's another Hall of Famer that's probably going to be changing teams in the offseason too. So are we happy making it to the playoffs, or do we want championships?
It's the same thing with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford.
Right.
It's
exactly.
So we'll see what happens after this.
And Garoppolo, they gave Garoppolo a bunch of money. He took him to a Super Bowl, and they said, you know what, your play just isn't good enough. Some Browns fans, I feel, set the bar so low, and they say, well, we're not 0-16. We made the play. My expectations are, I hear all off season how the Browns are one of the most talented teams in the league. So why are we not a top 3 team? If we're one of the most talented teams in the league, why are we not a top 3 team?
Bud, it's the Browns. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't. My expectations are pretty high because I see Nick Chubb is a hell of a player. I see Kareem Hunt is a hell of a player. I see Myles Garrett putting his heart and soul out there, and probably the defensive player through the first quarter of the season. So, I think the sky's the limit for this team, and so far our passing game has not held up its end of the bargain, and it's kind of been the weakness of our team. If you had to pick one weakness of our team right now, you'd have to say our passing game is it, right?
Yeah.
Or what would you think?
Yeah.
Our kicking game is out of control.
Well, let's transition over into that defense. Vinny is still paying. Oh, he is still paying attention. I love you, Vinny.
You got a thumbs up from Vinny?
Oh, yeah, I got a thumbs up. If it's another finger in between the ring and the pointer. Defense looked amazing this week. I mean, first drive for a touchdown. Yeah, they buttoned it up after that. And it was so nice to see this defense again get home on 4 people. And the quote that I want to bring out is, I think it's Malik Jackson and Malik McDowell. All right. was all upset, and they actually realized what their job was, because guess what? You push up that interior line, ain't nobody blocking that outside rush that we got right now. McKinley, Garrett again. He didn't only had a half a sack, but still he was in the backfield, just piggyback riding Kirk Cousins like you would believe. Kirk Cousins didn't have time to do his little 3-step drops and his quick passes because it was that quick with the rush. And to see this team play defense and how fast they are, Bri. First time I can say a Cleveland Browns defense is fast, because JOK, Delpit, Greedy showed up. Greedy showed up and got an interception. Denzel Ward played his ass off too. This defense, I think, is going to be special, and we have just scratched the surface of what they got. What do you think, big fella?
Yeah, you brought up all those guys. I'll also throw on Jadeveon Clowney. Had a hell of a game. I mean, I can't imagine he looked this good in Tennessee last year, because if he did, they would have never let him go, because he's been everything that he was advertised coming into this season. And, you know, you said all those names. I give you Clowney. Malcolm Smith had a heck of a game. Again. For the injured Walker, and he's just tremendous depth for us. Taki, even though they scored on that first drive, he made a couple of great plays for our defense. So, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You could probably go 8, 9, 10 guys deep with great defensive performances. And not to bring the offense back into it, but I mean, how many guys on the offensive side had a great game? I mean, Chubb had 100 yards, which is great for any other running back, but for Nick Chubb, it's just kind of pedestrian. Kareem Hunt had a hell of a day. Higgins, I thought, played really well, but Peoples-Jones, Beckham, Schwartz, they combined for 2 catches, I think.
Right. You're forgetting about the most important player on offense.
Who's that?
Janovich.
Yeah. I love that play. That was maybe one of the best play calls we had all game.
I know, right? Whenever he's out there, magic happens.
But again, for the second straight week, it was a pleasure watching this defense, and I think I heard that that this is the first time since I don't know how many years it's been, but first time for sure since they came back that they had back-to-back games where they held opponents to single digits. So just think of that. They gave up that early touchdown, and then they basically held them scoreless for the final 3.5 quarters, which is, I mean, that's a pretty good offense now. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's up and down, but he could go out this week and light somebody up for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. So give that defense a lot of credit. Maybe we didn't give them credit that they deserved last week because Matt Nagy's an inept coach and Justin Fields is a rookie. But they proved it again this week, and they're going to have to do it for the next couple weeks because we have the Chargers and the Cardinals, who right now could be the hottest team in the NFL coming to Cleveland in a couple weeks. So keep it up, guys. Doesn't get any easier.
You can't say shit about Matt Nagy because they won against the Lions. And,
the Lions.
Yeah, but still, I had the Lions defense thinking that, fantasy football. I love it. But the other thing I want to bring up is it's nice to see this defense run with just the front four getting so much pressure. I mean, that frees up our playmakers in the backfield. I mean, we got 1 interception. Technically, we got 2 interceptions, especially there at the end of the game. And what was up with that phantom pass that Cousins tried to do right there at was that a pass, a underhand shovel? Right at the end of the game, it was like 3rd down. And he just kind of just threw it in front of him.
No, I don't remember. Oh, when he was getting sacked or trying to avoid the sack?
Yeah. He was like, let me roll this here.
What about the one, I think it was the first drive where he threw the touchdown pass and he was like 2 yards past the line of scrimmage?
Well, I mean, the refs
can't get away with that.
Ref has some blinders on. But thing about this team is, Bry and Vinny, click it. He's not clicking it. We have a kicker.
Hallelujah.
Chase McLaughlin, whatever it is. Two more field goals, 1 over 50. What is he? Perfect? 3 for 3 over 50?
Yeah. 2 last week, 1 this week.
Brian, it's so nice. It's nice, right?
Yeah, it's not going to continue forever, but it's nice right now. And I mean, if he can come close to what he's done for us up to this point and just get more comfortable as the season goes on, I mean, that almost takes the Browns to another level, because you think of the other great teams in the AFC that we're going to be competing with. They have weapons. Their kickers are weapons. Justin Tucker is a weapon. Harrison Butker is a weapon. He can kick a 55-yarder to win you a game, both of them, and you feel pretty confident in them kicking that distance. We saw it last year with Tucker against the Browns. So the one thing we haven't seen from McLaughlin is a pressure kick, a kick in a big-time situation to tie the game late or to take the lead late. So that's the one unknown about him. Does he let that pressure get to him, or, just where does he go with that? Where's his head at? So I'm in love. Like I said, I thought we couldn't do a whole lot better than Cody Parkey unless we just strike gold, and I think we did strike gold with this kid, because he's just a machine right now.
Well, the best quote I heard, I think it was Doug Deacon today on 92.3, was joking around about the kicker. And he asked Jimmy Donovan where he went to school at. He goes, Illinois. Well, he must have got a lot of time kicking in Illinois. So it was just a little funny. So let's look ahead next week. We're playing the Chargers, Justin Herbert at LA. All right. So what are your keys to the game? Because I mean, we're traveling to West Coast time. It's a 4:05 kickoff.
4:00.
Right?
Yep.
So what are you looking for next week, bud?
I'm looking for a bounce back game from the offense, and it's weird and it's kind of unexplainable sometimes how in football, when one side of the football team is down, and people are doubting them, they seem to have a bounce back game. They try that much harder in practice. They know their backs are against the wall. So I'm confident that our offense will bounce back. And as long as Baker is healthy enough, I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll have a good game. But again, it's not going to be easy. We don't get a whole lot of breaks. Our offensive line is a little banged up. Who knows what Jed Wills is going to do? I don't know if Hubbard will be back, if he'll be playing Hudson more at left tackle. But, it's the National Football League. Every single week you have a very good pass rusher, and we go from Khalil Mack to Daniil Hunter to Joey Bosa next week to Chandler Jones the following week. So it's not going to get any easier for our tackles. Hopefully, if we are down Jed Wills, we can scheme up a way to double team, or those quick passes, something to take advantage of these wide defensive ends coming off the edge. And I think if you can do that, they have a couple playmakers on their defense, but Derwin James is a heck of a player also. And if they can do that, I see the offense putting up hopefully 30 points, because it could be a shootout. You can't expect your defense to come up big the way they have the last couple weeks, and it's going to be a tough test for them too. With Herbert, Mike Williams is having a hell of a year right now. He's proven to be the top 10 receiver that they drafted him to be. Keenan Allen's still a great player, and Eckler adds a kind of a different dimension out of the backfield than what Dalvin Cook does, because he's kind of that scat back. He's super quick, and he's almost like a slot receiver coming out of there.
All right, I'm in agreement with you. I want to see that. The great thing about going on the road is running and defense always travel. if we still have our running game, we still have our defense, I think we can pull this one off. I think I'm still skeptical right now because Baker's had 2 really bad games. And I hope he gets shit corrected before this one because he needs to for them to win this. I think this all falls on Baker's shoulders at some point in time in this game, whether it be a chance to win the game or a chance to lose the game. So let's before we do our predicts, let's get our player of the game. Vinny, can you pull that up? Player of the game last week. All right. So I'm going to go first. And my player of the game last week, Greedy Williams, to show up, take over Greg Newsome, just do what he's done. Hasn't played a game in how long? Almost 2 years. All right. And to go out and get an interception and be a factor in the game, absolutely amazing. Greedy, thank you. Brian, what about you?
Yeah, that's a great pick. He certainly stepped up when his number was called for the defense, and when we needed him, he was there, and he gave us a hell of an effort. And so I'll go kind of a similar line of thinking as you with Greedy. I'm going to go to the offensive side of the ball, though, and I'm going to go Rashard Higgins because a lot of people kind of left him for dead. I kind of thought that Peoples-Jones had passed him up on the depth chart, maybe Schwartz as well. And those guys didn't do much this game. And Higgins was there. I mean, it almost seemed like the only time Baker completed a pass more than 10 yards, it was to Rashard Higgins. And he's kind of his safety blanket. He's a go-to guy whenever Baker's struggling like he was. There's some comfort. There's some great communication between the two of them. And when there wasn't a whole lot going right on offense, Higgins gave us some big plays. So, yeah, shout him out, and hopefully he can continue to do what he's been doing while Jarvis is out for sure.
All right, so Vinny, get back in here, brother. There he is. All right, so we're going to do our score predict for the Chargers. All right, so who wants to go first? Because Vinny's going to piggyback off of us. I got to mark this down. So
make Vinny go first, then.
I'll go first.
You go first, then.
I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one game that I've had marked on my calendar, and I think this is the game that the Browns lose. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about it, and I am going to go 31 Chargers to 24 Browns.
31-24. Okay.
Justin Herbert is something special. They do have a potent offense. I hope our guys can match up. And you know something? I hope they make me look stupid. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing a bottle of whiskey and pizza to you guys on this one. But this, you had Kansas City winning the very first week. And this is the one that has scared me as soon as the schedule came out because the Chargers are really good and people don't pay enough attention to them. They are really good. This is the game that scares me. So let's go to Vinny next. Vinny, what do you want? 27-24? You're normal? You got to unmute yourself. Here, let me unmute you.
I unmuted myself.
There you go. So
yes.
27-24, my cousin Vinny?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to go 27-24, and I think Cleveland's going to pull it out, though.
All right, 27.
I think they're going to have that bounce-back game and the offense, and I'm hoping that we're going to see a much better Baker.
Buddy, you have the nice setup over here. I'm not going to lie. This is nice. Like, I just got to write down everything. All right. So, Brian, what about you?
I'm flipping, I'm flopping over here because all day long I was like, yeah, I think the Browns are going to lose this game. Justin Herbert, he's a heck of a quarterback, and he's potentially a top 5 quarterback within the next couple years. He's beat the Chiefs. He beat Patrick Mahomes, which is something the Browns haven't done, and he always seems to play them tough. But you know what? I think our defense is ready for him. I think our defense is up for the challenge. And like I said, something strange about football when everyone's calling out and trashing on one side of the ball, the offense, everyone's trashing on Baker. I think Baker's a gamer. I think he steps up. I think he's ready for the moment. He knows how terrible he played this past week. He knows he let his team down, and his team bailed him out. So I think Baker's going to be eager to return the favor to them. And you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it. I'll go 30-27 Browns.
Oh shit! Here's a chance for Fatty to tie Big Brian.
Copy and paste. You know. So I was gonna pick the Chargers. When I heard you pick the Chargers, I was like, I can't do that.
Oh, that a boy!
I gotta pick up 2 games on you. I gotta get my 2-game lead up.
Oh, you're not going to get it, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to hold.
Well, they got the Chargers got the short week. They're playing Monday Night Football right now, so hopefully that benefits the Browns.
Okay, yeah, I get it. The Chargers game, God, it just.
I know Herbert's damn good.
All right, so Vinny, we are going to hold off on the Indians until trivia time. So let's get into our Fat Boy Tuesday. All right, you want to click the video?
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, our Fat Boy Tuesday is not sponsored by anybody because we're just fat. But we're going to get into birthday dinners. All right, so Big Bri birthday was last weekend. I think it was last weekend, right? Last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What did Mama make you for your birthday dinner?
So she asked me, and she probably I usually go one of 2 different ways for main course. It's usually ribs.
Oh, okay.
She does ribs, and I think she either cooks them in the oven for a few hours, and then she throws them on the grill.
Oh,
and I sear the outside a little bit and char them a little bit. And so it's ribs, but I thought about that. I don't get ribs a whole lot, but something was just telling me, just keep it simple. Hot dogs, hamburgers. So that's what I went with. And she had a nice touch. She got the pretzel bun for the hamburger, the pretzel bun for the hot dog. So we did that. And whether it's ribs, whether it's burgers and dogs, the staple has to be the cheesy potato casserole.
Oh,
and so we did that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Char that up a little bit. Love that. We threw in some Brussels sprouts. She does these tremendous Brussels sprouts that she chars that I never thought I'd like Brussels sprouts, but they're damn good, and you got to get some vegetable in there. So did that. My sister-in-law made a tremendous homemade cake and some cake pops, which were out of this world. I mean, the moist cake pops are where it's at. So
hey, cake pops are the best because they're almost like potato chips. You just grab one, eat it, then you're like, oh, look at that. And then you just go down the dark hole.
If I could only choose one dessert for the rest of my life, I'm not positive that it wouldn't be cake pops because I don't have them very often, but when I do, I mean, you can't beat them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some pastries, but as soon as you get into that cake pop, I mean, look out. That's a different world.
All right, Vinny, what about you, brother?
We've been going out for birthdays now. Mama goes ahead, takes us out wherever we want to go. So I don't know. I think the last thing I ever actually asked for to be made was probably mama sauce and pasta and stuff.
Well, I mean, you're straight Italian. Where do you guys go out to eat at? Do you guys go to an Italian restaurant? Because if
no. Why go to an Italian restaurant then? We'd just stay home.
Because I'll flip this table.
No. Let's see. Last time for my birthday, we went to. Where did I choose? I don't remember where I chose. one year, we would go to Applebee's, or we'll go, we got like so many people now in the family. So you got to really spread things out.
Yeah.
So you're hitting a bunch of different places.
Pierogi challenge with your nephew.
Oh, that wasn't even for a birthday. That was just a challenge.
So, all right, how about this? If you could pick your perfect birthday meal.
Yeah, anything you want from your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want for your mom. I want the
Doesn't
whole
have to be a birthday.
I want appetizer, I want main course, I want dessert.
Appetizer, appetizer, we're talking like tailgate appetizers, for what we would do for that. So mozzarella sticks, and usually get those like fried raviolis, stuff like that.
You're just hey, I haven't had dinner. Just keep talking to me like, yeah.
Right.
Here's one.
And just basic chips and dip, things like that for an appetizer. Moving on to the main course, I gotta have mama spaghetti. I love
Does
mama
she do
spaghetti.
meatballs, or does she do a meat sauce? How's she do it?
Well, we cook all the meat in the sauce, so you get the
Yeah,
flavor of it a little bit and
Yeah.
everything. But not meat sauce. It's just a nice thick sauce. Get it all on there.
Peppers, onions, tomatoes.
No, it's a little different. It's a family recipe. I won't go into too much detail, but
That's some shit.
yeah.
All right, I gotta try
Just
it now.
have to taste it.
I have to try it now. All right, dessert. What do you got for dessert?
Dessert, I suppose it depends on the time of year, but for my birthday, probably a nice banana cream pie, or
That's nice.
yeah, I like banana cream pie.
All right, so for mine, Bri, it depends on who's cooking. If it's my mom, I want her lasagna. Like she makes a stacked up lasagna. Like that sauce cooks for days, and I mean days. It's in the crock pot. There's a black layer on top, and she just stirs that shit. Yeah, I love it. If it's my stepdad, his super burritos are phenomenal.
Right.
Because he makes those in the oven. All right. So it's a mixture of beef, pepper, onion, and sour cream all mixed together. And then he bakes them in the oven after he cooks the ingredients, and then he puts cheese on top. It's pretty much a knife and a fork because you cannot pick it up because they're like this big. Like it's amazing. And if it's and this is dear to my heart, if it's my grandmother, anything she cooks just makes me happy. But her fucking meatloaf, I don't know what it is about her fucking meatloaf. I don't know what she puts in it. I don't have the recipe. But every time she cooked meatloaf, I loved every bit of it. Now, appetizer wise, I'm kind of like Vinny. I like chips, dips, and all that stuff. But if I can get a solid, and my sister does it for me with her chili cheese dip or the cream cheese with the hot pepper relish.
Yeah.
Scoop that up. Now I have two favorite desserts. You ready for this?
Okay. Yep.
My mother will make me a chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting.
Ooh,
Okay.
that sounds amazing.
And this is the one that tops hers. My grandmother made me, for every birthday that I would have, a pineapple upside down cake
Oh yeah.
with the crushed pineapple, the sliced pineapple, and the cherries and everything. And she used the pineapple juice in the batter mix to make it.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
It's
smart.
like pure pineapple.
And when she made it, and I knew she would make it because I would walk in the house and I could smell the pineapple. I'm like, oh shit, it's on. I need a fork. I need a bib. Let's do this. She goes, you gotta save some for the family. I'm like, Okay, look, come on, come on. You know me. She goes, all right, eat it all. I'm like, I love you. And oh my god, I love it so much. All right, so let's get out. God, I'm so hungry. Let's get into our
Well,
trip.
you guys talking about appetizers got me thinking about it, and chips and dip. We had a Have you guys ever had taco dip?
Oh, I love dip.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yep.
I don't. It's just like what sour cream and taco seasoning and cheese and lettuce and tomato, but it's always a crowd pleaser. It's
Mhm.
always one of the first things to go. So we had.
I was going to say, because if you're talking about like our taco dip, because we do the meat and everything.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all mixed
Yeah,
together.
some people put meat in it. Yep.
Oh,
Like a 7-layer.
yeah. Like you take a Frito, we use Fritos with ours, the Frito scoops.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, I'm really hungry. Can we hurry up and do this?
You move it along.
Let's not do top 3 horror movies yet. Let's
Oh.
the Indians.
Oh, okay.
The Indians played their last game as the Indians. As of next year, they will be the Guardians. They beat, I don't know, I think it was the Texas Rangers 6-0. I don't know. I don't care. But we're going to go into trivia time, Brian. And my trivia to you was, when was the last time that the Indians had a losing season?
Okay. So thinking back, I think they've been pretty good as of late. They might have had a down year, 2018, maybe 2019, something like that. But I'm going to say it was before the World Series appearance in 2016. I think 2015 they might have made the playoffs as well. So I'm saying final answer 2014.
All right. So the reason why I brought this up, okay, because I want you Indian fans out there to realize this. The last season that they finished under 500 was 2012.
Before Francona, right? Francona never had a losing season.
He never had a losing season. Never.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And can you really pin this on him though? So
No,
I would still say he's never had a losing season.
No, and I don't pin it on him either because of the injuries and everything else. But I want Indians fans to actually realize this.
Well,
because you've had
he wasn't there.
You've had a winning
Right.
baseball team for over almost a decade, and they didn't go into tank like Pittsburgh or Baltimore or anything else. You've had a winning product on the field.
Very true.
So that's the reason why I brought it up, Brian. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because people
pretty
are
good.
like, oh my God, the Indians, and blah, 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 blah. No, you've had a winning baseball team. It's your own fault for not going to watch them because they have finished over 500. Now, maybe they might be, but maybe they might be in purgatory, like, NFL fans are with a mediocre quarterback. Like we've always talked about.
Mediocre quarterback. Who are you getting at?
No. I'm not talking about Baker Mayfield, but I'm talking like Tannehill. I'm talking like Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Tannehill's not mediocre. He's better than mediocre.
Well, I'm not saying that, but they're in like, all right, let's go back to old school. Let's go back. Fisher. What was his first name?
Who? Fisher?
Yeah, the coach.
Oh, Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher. No matter what happened, it
Yeah.
would be 8-8, 7-9, 9-7.
Yeah.
That's all he would do. This is what
Like the
Indians-
Broncos.
Yeah. Damn Denver. I hate
Teddy
him.
Bridgewater. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's mediocre.
All right, so let's get into my cousin Vegas word of the day, right?
We're gonna do
Yep.
trivia after. All right. Or
Huh?
not trivia.
Terry
Top
did the
3.
trivia. Oh, top 3. Whatever you want to do. We're doing my cousin Vegas word of the day. It was
Yeah.
parlay.
Parlay.
And since I'm a degenerate gambler, not really, it's make future bets, multiple bets. There's a cat behind you.
Althea.
All right. So, Brian, what about you?
So future betting. Okay.
Future betting.
Okay, you guys are choppy on my end, but if you're asking for me, I would say parlay is to improve, to turn into something better.
Vinny?
And that exactly almost is the definition of parlay. To turn something into something of greater value.
You son of a...
So right there. And I, you know,
2 in a row.
it always made me
Can I be
wonder.
done now?
It always made me wonder, like in pirate movies and stuff like that. You know, when you got taking capture, they go, "Oh, so parlay." So it's like, listen, there's something greater out there than me. So I just,
Hey, you went that way. I went with I got 4 teams, a over under
Right.
and 6 unders, and hey,
You take one bet and you parlay it into multiple bets.
you know
yeah.
what's really funny is I think that the Italian didn't.
What are you getting at?
I'm not. No. We can't talk about those things. All right, let's get into our top 3 horror movies. Click the top 3. So we came up with the top 3 horror movies. All right, and it is a broad spectrum of horror movies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go first to get mine out of the way so you guys can giggle a little bit. My number 3, Leprechaun in the Hood. The Leprechaun movies have always scared the shit out of me, but Leprechaun in the Hood scared me, and I laughed my ass off the entire time watching it. If you've never seen it, please watch Vinny knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
All right. So my number 2, and as a kid, I hated this movie as a kid. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
Hated that movie as a kid. Hated it.
Yep.
And my number 1, and I will never watch it again. Ever. Or the ones that branch off of it, Sinister. I will never watch Sinister again. That movie freaked me the hell out, and I was freaked out for 2 months. So, Big Brian, what about your top 3 horror movies?
Okay, so when you ask me for my top 3 horror movies, I think of the top 3 horror movies that I enjoy the most.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they freak you out a little bit, but I didn't put on the top 3 movies that have freaked me out of all time because I don't enjoy those. And to be honest, horror movies are not really my cup of tea. I don't desire to be scared. I don't thrive to sit down and watch a 2-hour movie and come away not being able to sleep or anything. So I put down 3 movies I enjoyed that maybe you might consider to be a horror movie. They were on the horror movie list, so I'm going with them. My number 3 is Scream.
All
There you
right.
go.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's good movie. I enjoyed it. And yeah, there's some horror in it. And number 2, I didn't really consider this a horror movie, but it was on a couple of top 100 lists that I was rifling through. Jaws.
Okay.
Love Jaws.
Oh,
I can see that as one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really consider it a horror movie, but I guess maybe some other people do as well. And my number 1 would be one that I was actually scared of a lot as a kid, but now I've kind of grown to appreciate it and enjoy it. And that's the first Predator with Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
I love the Predator movies.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. All right, Vinny, let's get your top 3.
See, and I kind of went right in between you two, which is really funny. I got my number 3 is Saw, the whole Saw series. to think somebody could actually put that kind of thing, that put that kind of energy and stuff like that into doing something like that is kind of crazy to me. Final Destination,
Oh, I forgot
the
about
first
that.
one. I love that movie. Great movie.
Brian, have you
You
ever
know.
watched it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
You gotta watch it because it's like I'll let Vinny explain it.
Is it a good movie or is it just really screwed up?
no. It's a great movie. It's a
Okay.
great movie, and just to have death lurking around the corner everywhere you end up going because you saw a glimpse of the future and you were able to change death's plan.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
basically
okay.
what it's about.
Okay.
And it's just, yeah, it's something else. It's very cool. Now they made other ones off of it, 2, 3, 4, and stuff, all equally about good, but I think 1 was the best.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
your number one?
my number 1, Darkness Falls. I
Oh.
love that movie.
Oh, that-
If you ever wanted to be scared of the Tooth Fairy, watch that movie.
there it is.
Right there, man.
All right, so boys, we went way past what we wanted to go past. All right, so Vinny, tell them good night.
Hey, have a good night, everybody.
By the way, don't watch horror movies. And he is gone. Brian, give him a God bless.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
All right, we are Legal Ham the Face. Thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, this is pre-recorded, so your comments are not coming in right now. We will not see them until tomorrow about 8-ish. So thank you guys for watching. We thank our first responders, our troops. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything you do. And we are uncorked, unloaded, and we are out. Thanks for